Hey guys, this is JayyJammer. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Talking With. I guess this is going to be a series now. I did one of these last time with Mage Masher 22 where we talked all things Final Fantasy, what we loved about it, how we got into the series, all that good stuff. Today, obviously, as you can see on my screen right now, this beautiful hunk of a man that he is, I have with me the British Eagle, and today we're going to be talking Kingdom Hearts. British Eagle, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me. I'm excited. Anytime I get a chance to talk about Kingdom Hearts and also just get to chat with you is a pleasure, so I'm excited for this.
Absolutely. We've been planning to do this for God knows how long. There's been so many things getting in the way. Unfortunately, you know, Eagle ended up getting COVID at one point, so we couldn't do it then. Plus, he was away on holiday as well. So, and then we've had it planned for certain days, and we both just forgot. That's how good we are at planning stuff.
Yeah, my memory's like an 80-year-old like man's memory that's just like I just forget everything. Like it just everyone you can ask everyone in my life, like everyone I talk to, they're like, "How do you forget this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like it's just bad. I don't know. It's horrible. Doesn't impact my job though, so that's good."
Well, yeah, that's thank God.
Thank God, right.
But thank you so much again for joining me, buddy. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I had a blast doing the Final Fantasy talk with Mage, and I think Kingdom Hearts is definitely a genre that I would love to talk about more. But before we jump into any of that kind of stuff, Eagle, if there's people that are not familiar with yourself, would you like to just explain what you do on your channel and what kind of games you play?
Yeah, definitely. So, hi everyone, my name's the British Eagle. I typically play a lot of different games, for the most part, Pokemon, but I play other things, like right now I have a Dragon Quest VIII Let's Play. A lot of the JRPG games I play are blind Let's Plays. That just seems to be a lot of fun for me right now, but Dragon Quest, I've got Chrono Trigger, Pokemon, I even do some other Game Boy Advance games like Zatch Bell that you may not have heard of, so if you're into that content, yeah, feel free to check it out. And yeah, I'm a typically very loud and like energetic person, but I'm trying not to be way too overexcited because I've been so excited to do this, but I also don't want to like destroy everyone's ears with me being super loud, so I'm trying to like settle myself down a little bit here. But I've been dying to talk with you, Jay, about this, just to talk to you in general.
Absolutely.
But also Kingdom Hearts, so like both of this is just exciting to me. So.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've ever done anything, and the first time we've spoke to each other in person as well. So
yeah,
this is definitely going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, please guys, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I will warn you, I am not as punny as Mage is, so you may not get as many good puns in this, but I'll try my best.
That's fine. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so guys, please do, if you haven't already, please go check out the British Eagle. What I will do is, what I typically like to do when I've got friends on the channel, I like to link at least one of their playthroughs at the end of the video that we're specifically talking about. So I think for this video, Kingdom Hearts would be appropriate. So what we've got here is a bunch of, I've done a bunch of like mashup clips of the British Eagle's Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts 1, and I believe there's some Chain of Memories in here as well. I've tried not to show off too much of the game. I've kind of just split it up, like just bits and pieces. I haven't shown off too many worlds or anything like that. But I think there's enough here to give you a nice little taste. But if you want to see the full thing, please go check out the British Eagle's Kingdom Hearts playthrough.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of that really quick, I actually plan on going through sometime over the next couple weeks or months, going back and redoing all of the Kingdom Hearts content.
Nice.
I took a break way back when I did Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I did Kingdom Hearts 2, 358. I did all that, but then I took a massive break, and since then, I mean, it's been a couple years since I did a project like that, so hopefully the audio quality and the just the commentary in general will be a lot better. So look for that on my channel sometime in the future.
Well, there you go. You heard it here, folks. It's official. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's talk Kingdom Hearts, because that's what we're here for.
Yep.
And again, just before we start anything, guys, like the Final Fantasy discussion I had with Mage, this is, again, it's a discussion. Myself and the British Eagle are going to have our own opinions. We will share those opinions between each other. We're not stating anything as fact, like you'll see. So everyone's going to have their own opinions on certain stuff, and so will we. So I guess then the main question for you, British Eagle, is when did you first discover Kingdom Hearts 1?
That is a great question. So, I actually met one of my best friends that I have been friends with now for, oh gosh, 17 years.
Ooh.
It's actually, no, I think it's been longer than that, but it's at least been 17 or 16 plus years. I found Kingdom Hearts through a friend of mine. I was actually going to, so I guess I'll have to backtrack a little bit. I'm trying to think of how this worked. So I moved a house to this new neighborhood. We lived on the East Coast in the United States, and in this new area, I didn't know anybody. So it's like 7th grade, which I guess for you guys in England is like year 5 or year 6, whatever.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so we have the school buses here. So they pick you up in the morning, take you to school. You know, same thing at the end of the day,
Yep.
right? So I got picked up. No, I don't know anybody, and I get on the bus, and I end up sitting next to this kid. He's playing on his Game Boy. We start talking, and all of a sudden we have a lot of interest. And of course, he was playing Pokemon, so I wanted to talk to him about that. But anyway, he lived in the neighborhood with me. We would go to each other's houses all the time. We lived like literally 10 houses down the road from each other. And I came over to his house, and I was like, "Hey, what are you playing, man?" He was like, "Hey, it's this Kingdom Hearts game." He was kind of new to it as well, but he played it a little bit enough to like talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And I watched him play it, and I instantly fell in love, and it was just insane. It's crazy how much like it was one of those things where it was almost like love at first sight. Like I watched the game. I forget what he was doing now. Obviously, it's been a long time, but it was in a battle or something, and I saw like the spells, and I saw the sword, and I saw like just the music, and it all just kind of drew me in. And so yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I just realized I mixed up something in the story. So there's actually 2 friends that introduced me to Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
The first friend, I don't speak to as often, but I did know him 17 plus years ago. The other friend I met a very similar way, and he's still a friend of mine to this day. We're a little bit closer than the original friend.
Oh,
but
nice.
I met 2 best friends through Kingdom Hearts almost the exact same way. So
Oh, that's awesome, man.
yeah, it's honestly crazy how like I don't know, like all my memories when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, like my main thing and part of the reason why I still love it so much is obviously I love the games, but like those 2 friendships, both of them from different periods. I think one was when I was in 7th grade, the other one was 9th grade. And so like for you guys, year 7, year 9, I don't know if that relates right, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, both of those friendships and like both of them, meant a lot to me in my life, and they've had a big impact on me, those friendships. And the fact that one of them I'm still very, very close with to this day. We hang out, we chat all the time. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot of nostalgia, there's a lot of memories. And I think for me too, like the messages in Kingdom Hearts are just
absolutely
super powerful. Like
Oh, yeah.
really powerful.
Yeah, I think what I love about that is I've heard a lot of similar stories. Again, this was the same with the Final Fantasy discussion. A lot of it seems like a lot of friends introduced, or we introduced a certain game to a friend, and then they become a fan of it from there on. So stuff like that I really love, because it's unexpected, right? You don't expect a friend to, they might for a genre of game that they've never like played before, and then all of a sudden they're just this big fan, and I think that's really, really cool. So
yeah, and it's funny because like I remember there were so many. So Kingdom Hearts 1, for those of you that don't know, if you're watching this and have never played Kingdom Hearts, go play it. But Kingdom Hearts 1 is not obviously a multiplayer; it's a single-player JRPG.
Right.
Well, me and my friend, we both loved it so much that we wanted to play together. So we would switch off after each boss. So like he would fight a boss and get through a certain area, and then he'd hand the controller to me. But we both loved Kingdom Hearts so much that like we didn't mind sitting next to the other person and just watching them play it. Like the fun we had just being like, wait, if you use this, I think that'll help with that damage you're taking. Oh yeah, you almost got him. Like those to me, like I still think of those memories today, and like staying at his house until like, I'd sleep over for the night when I was a kid, and like we'd stay up till probably like 3:30, 4 in the morning, like just playing the game nonstop and just wishing we had our own personal keyblades and like just yeah.
You
just
know
crazy.
what's crazy about that story is I have the exact same similar story, but it was for Final Fantasy VII. And again,
nice.
I touched on this in the major discussion, but yeah, the same friend that I ended up beating FF7 with, we did the exact same thing. We would each get to a certain point of the game, we'd fight a boss each, then hand the controller over, and we did that until we literally finished the whole thing. And again, yeah, I would stay at his house, and we would be up till God knows when, just playing the crap out of the game. So again, that's another similar story that I really like, and I think those memories are ones you should cherish in terms of your gaming and stuff. So I think that's really cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I approached Kingdom Hearts 1 very differently. I knew the game was coming out before it came out, if that makes sense. The first thing I saw of Kingdom Hearts was obviously the famous, the front cover of Kingdom Hearts 1, the Nomura artwork.
Iconic.
And even as a kid, I was looking at it and I was like, wow, this looks really Final Fantasy. I was like, but why is Donald Duck on the front? Like, but these were my questions. Before the game came out, I was like, yeah, it's got that Final Fantasy look to it, but it's got Disney characters in it. But honestly, man, when I played this for I think I got this game for Christmas, I'm pretty sure I did. But when I played this for the very, very first time, it blew me away. And when I found out that there were Final Fantasy characters in it, I was just like, hell yeah, I am all in. Let's go. Look, just give me what you've got.
See, and like that's the thing is like for me, I also question the same thing. I remember seeing the box for the PlayStation 2 artwork, and one, it's beautiful artwork, by the way. I mean, obviously Donald being on it and Goofy kind of throws it off a little bit, but
yeah.
I remember seeing that and being like, okay, why does the guy have a key in his hand? Why is there a dog and a duck on the page? But also, that's a heart moon in the background. Like that looks insane. Like there's I feel like sometimes in life, and this happens with a lot of video games for me, and I'm sure the same for you as well, you just see something and you're just drawn in. Like, you can't explain it, you like it, and you're like, there's something about this that attracts me. And the opposite way too, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you're like, why do I like this? Tell me why I like this.
It's that duck. I don't know what it is. It's just,
It's got to be the duck.
Totally.
So yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Well, Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 1, I believe, came out in 2002. Damn, that seems like ages ago. I mean, it was
really
ages
just
ago.
Aged both of us.
Wow. Yeah, that shows you, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. 2002. Yeah. So. Yeah, I do remember playing it on the PlayStation 2. I think it was definitely, for me, it was definitely the worlds that drew me in. Just thinking, wow, like I can go around all these different worlds with a key sword, which is what I called it. It wasn't a keyblade, it was a key sword. And
Go key sword.
Go key sword, and I can just attack stuff in these Disney worlds. Like, what? That doesn't happen. What do you mean? Yeah, it just honestly, man, it blew me away. So I guess the next question I have for you is. What's your favorite Disney world for Kingdom Hearts 1? Okay, what's your favorite Disney world and what's your least favorite?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Okay, so my favorite world. Wow, are we just talking Kingdom Hearts 1 or are we talking any world?
Yeah, just Kingdom Hearts 1 for now.
Just Kingdom Hearts 1 for now. So I don't know that a lot of people like this world, but I like it mainly because it's an early world, and it's also I had trouble with the boss in this world at Deep Jungle, so Tarzan's world. I love that world for a couple of reasons. One, it's kind of it's the second world, I believe, because you go to Alice in Wonderland first and then Deep Jungle.
Yes.
Deep Jungle, I loved it because it felt like there was lots of layers to it, and all the worlds have their own layers, but I liked the tree house. I liked you could fight the saber-toothed cat or the lion, whatever it's called. I don't know. You fight the cat. You can fight not Kerchak. Oh my gosh, what is the guy's name with the rifle? I can't remember.
Oh, Clayton.
Yes, Clayton. Thank you. You fight Clayton on the chameleon, and I lost to that boss so many times, and it was just I don't think I really understood how to fight it. Like now I can destroy it; it's not a problem. But I remember fighting that thing and like just literally dying over and over again because I just couldn't figure out how to do it. And to be fair, I probably didn't prep in advance well enough, but there's a lot of things about that world I really like. I like the monkey enemies. There's the monkey enemy that drops a banana where you like walk on it and it'll make you trip and it makes you lose your money. There's like the vines you can swing on. I don't know. There's a lot of things that there's some nostalgia there, but I like Deep Jungle. I know not a lot of people do, but that's one of my favorite worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
My least favorite, that's tough. I honestly like all of them in their own way.
Yeah.
I guess the one I would say that is the quote-unquote worst, I'd probably say Monstro.
Oh, okay. I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah, so for me, I think the colors inside the whale in the main section of the whale are too much for me. It's very like, it's been a while since I've seen it, but like all the rooms got very confusing, and like you can fall off the edges very like easily if you run out of a room quick enough because of the way it works.
Right.
The structure of it's just very strange. I don't mind the main entrance when you get into the main part of the whale's mouth. You can hop on the platforms, and then you can go to the mini boat that Geppetto's on.
Yes.
But I'm not in love with that world. It doesn't have. It feels to me like there's two areas. There's the main area where Geppetto is with the boat, and then there's the main area that you get lost going through all the rooms that look the same. It just doesn't have enough layers. Like Deep Jungle has the treehouse. It has the vines. It has the cliffs. It has the campsite. It's got the waterfall. Like, that to me just has more depth to it than Monstro does.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. That is a very, very interesting answers you have there. Because I hear a lot that people for a lot of people, they say that Deep Jungle is the worst world, which is quite interesting.
Yep.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, me personally, I don't have a problem with Deep Jungle. I can see why people would think it. I personally like it. I'm gonna shock people now. There's a world that I actually really liked as a kid.
Okay.
And it's one that a lot of people still don't like to today, and that is actually Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 1.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna guess that you really like that. Atlantica's actually, I feel like, a little underrated. I didn't like it as a kid, but there's actually some cool stuff with Atlantica.
Right. Yeah.
So what's the one you don't like then? Or actually, did you want to talk about why you like Atlantica?
Well, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a favorite as a kid. I think it's just because it as a kid, it was the fact it was an underwater level. And it was different. I like that kind of stuff. Using a keyblade underwater, that's just really cool.
Wait, no. Key sword.
Sorry, key sword. What's a key? We don't say keyblade here.
Keyblade? What's that?
What's a keyblade? Yeah, it was just very, very different. My least favorite world. Oh, God.
There's a lot of worlds. I'm actually going to see if I can pull up all Kingdom Hearts. I feel bad that I have to even look this up because I should just know it as a Kingdom Hearts fan. And can I just say one thing before you say your worst world that you don't like? So, guys, again, what Jay said before, this is just our opinions. Like, please don't wreck us in the comments if, like, we don't like a world you don't like, or we love a world you hate. Like, it's just our opinions. And also, just because we're Kingdom Hearts fans doesn't mean we know everything. So we're not going to know the answers to everything, or in terms of questions and stuff like that. So just, keep that in mind. That's all.
No, and I'm going to put this out here now. Just, I barely know anything about Kingdom Hearts. I know that sounds really crazy. There is still a lot of Kingdom Hearts games I have not played.
You have to play some of them. Dude.
I've only played the main...
Well, all of them.
The mainline ones, so Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. I haven't touched Birth by Sleep. Full disclosure, I tried to play Chain of Memories twice. Didn't go very well, which is annoying because I actually...
Did you play? Did you play the Game Boy Advance or the PS2 version?
No, I played the HD version with Final Mix.
Oh, wait. the HD Final Mix, but that's Kingdom Hearts 1, right? Because so Chain of Memories, there was 2 versions. There's a Game Boy Advance one where it's like more, it looks almost like a side scroller, and then there's another one that's Chain of Re-Chain of Memories.
Yeah, Re-Chain of Memories, that's the one.
Okay, gotcha. So that's, oh, you didn't like that? You know what's funny? That's one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games.
I know,
Like
and I was
top 2, top 3.
I was gonna say that as well. No, and it's not that because this is what is annoying. The story to Re-Chain of Memories is really, really good. I just can't play the game. I've tried twice, and I just can't do it. It's a shame because
it is different with the cards, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, haven't technically finished that. Don't know if I ever will. Yeah, still haven't played Birth by Sleep. Still haven't played Dream Drop Distance. And again, we haven't done any Kingdom Hearts on the channel yet, but I do plan to. I think what I've kind of thought about doing is I kind of want to get a few Final Fantasy games out the way first for obvious reasons before I jump into Kingdom Hearts, but it definitely will happen.
Makes sense. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it definitely will happen.
By the way, you still haven't given us your least favorite world from Kingdom Hearts.
I haven't.
So
I haven't.
hear it.
I'm slacking. Least favorite.
You're trying to draw the time out. You're trying to stall.
I know. Least favorite. Oh man. I'm gonna have to say. God.
Dare you to say Deep Jungle?
No, you know what? Alice in Wonderland, probably.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I don't hate that world, but I don't love it either. I'm kind of just like, I could do without it. Like, I don't care. Like,
yeah.
If it's not there, like if they got rid of it tomorrow, I'd be like, okay. Like, there's some decent things about it, but yeah. Why do you not like it? I'm curious.
Just because I just don't feel like there's. I think for me, there's too much platforming in that first level, which can be frustrating, especially if there's jank controls sometimes.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think as a first level, I think it's over quite quickly as well. I know you do return to that world at some point. Yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite. I'm not saying I hate it, but it's definitely not. It's definitely probably the least favorite of mine.
You know what's funny is that Wonderland that you just mentioned that you don't like is your least favorite is ranked. I found a list online.
Okay.
That's like the ranked 1 through 14 worlds for Kingdom Hearts 1, and Wonderland is ranked 13 out of 14.
Oh.
Deep Jungle is ranked 12 out of 14. So we both chose, or my favorite world is at the bottom. Your least favorite's at the bottom. You know, one world I didn't mention, which I always forget to mention this world because it's a required world. Well, they're all required, but like this one is the one that's just kind of part of the main intro of the game. I absolutely love Traverse Town. Like the music in Traverse Town. I love that you fight Leon. You go back to it several times because you have to as part of the story. There's the clock tower. There's like Traverse Town has so much stuff. There's mail you can deposit to get items, or postcards.
Yes,
you can deposit to get items. Traverse Town is probably right. I would actually argue it's better to me than Deep Jungle, but if I had to pick a world outside of like just the very introduction of the game, it would be Deep Jungle. So
okay, that's very, very interesting. Yeah, I'd say my most favorite is probably Halloween Town for sure, which is interesting because I've never seen the film. But I liked the Kingdom Hearts world, so what does that say?
Well, to be fair, you don't have to. I mean, you can still like the world. I mean, it's still cool to like do all the stuff in there. That's actually a good world to choose. That's a fun one to play, especially because Sora gets a cool like costume design. He gets like a pumpkin that covers up like as an eye patch on his face. So, yeah, dude, it's good choices, man. Good choices.
Although I will say that I prefer Halloween Town and Kingdom Hearts 2 over the first one.
Yep, same.
What was it about Kingdom Hearts that drew you in the most, would you say?
So anyone who knows me pretty well knows that I'm a very emotional person and very like I can be very sensitive, which is fine. I don't mind. I know who I am. So for me, it's the emotional messages in the game, and a lot of them hit home for me in
Yeah.
terms of like, the one of the big things is like my friends are my power, and like I joke about it on stream and stuff like that. But one of the biggest things that's made Kingdom Hearts have a big impact on my life even more now when I'm 30, which is God, I'm 30. But one of the big impacts it's had on me recently is, I've made friends like you, Mage Masher, Soulchrist, Professor Hoenn, like so many other people, and then there's people that are not streamers that are in my streams or on YouTube, like Drake, Ali, Firebirdies, just everyone like that. And the reason I bring that up is because my friends are my power. The impact that people like yourself and everyone I just mentioned have had on my life the last 3 years has been unbelievably impactful, to where I don't know how happy I would be right now. We're getting really deep here, sorry.
No, carry on. I like it.
I don't know how happy I would be right now if I didn't have all of you. And
That's
I
awesome.
genuinely mean that. And so, I joke about my friends are my power. I kind of make it a joke in my streams, but like, it really does hit home for me because, like, there's days where, like, I think about, if I'm home and my wife Monica's at work and, I'm home alone, there's times where, I think to myself, like, man, like, I'm really fortunate to have, like, all these people in my life. And, I don't know, it's super impactful. And there's other messages, too, to me that are, like, there's the message of, when you're surrounded by darkness, like one of the video games for Kingdom Hearts is Fragmentary Passage, and it's a character, Aqua. This won't spoil really much for you, but Aqua's trapped basically in this realm of darkness, and even with all this darkness around her, she uses her friends as kind of that shining light, and there's always something to grab onto, even in like the darkest moment. And so for me, like, that kind of message keeps me going, like, literally daily, because I think about, like, I don't think about Aqua being trapped in the realm of darkness at work, but I think about, like, the message in that of, like, no matter how dark it is, like, something's gonna get better. Like, there's gonna be a light, there's gonna be something that helps me, and, like, it's gonna work out. And those messages in Kingdom Hearts hit me and pull up my heartstring, and, like, it means so much to me. It really does.
I love that, man. That is one of the most amazing stories ever. And it's good to know that kind of
real.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
of course.
serious,
And because us as content creators, we don't, again, this is the first time me and you have spoke in person, so
yeah.
it's hard. Even though, again, going back to what you just said, talking about, generally yourself, Mage, Soulchrist, you guys, again, it's the similar thing. You guys are the ones that just looking at your videos makes me go, yeah, I know I'm not going to stop doing this. Because, again, I generally do. I have days where I'm like, I spoke about this before, but do I want to do YouTube anymore? Am I any good at this? Does anybody even give a crap? So I have to really just look at you guys and go, no, they're the reason that I wanted to start doing this. And I'm, regardless of who's watching or whatever, I'm still going to make content because I enjoy doing it, and I like the idea of, documenting my journey through these amazing games. So, yeah, I have to thank you for that, buddy.
Yeah, of course. And a big thank you to you as well. I mean, you're, it's funny, you post, you do a lot of update videos, and, like, I typically click on all those videos just to find out what you're up to and, like, see how you're doing. And, like, you have a certain style with your commentary that is, in my opinion, very, like, relaxing.
Okay, thank you.
Not like ASMR, but, like, it's there's a, how do I explain it? Like, you just are very genuine with what you're saying, and you're very, like, yourself.
Right.
And so when I listen to your update videos, you genuinely are like, guys, I'm sorry I haven't been able to do this, or hey, I got this new video out, I'm really pumped about it. And you can hear it in your voice, so I click on all your update videos every time you post a new one, because it's just nice to hear how you're doing as well. But no, I appreciate that I can kind of help you, but you also help me too. And we talked about this in Discord a little bit,
right,
just through messages. I compare it to, like, a friendly rivalry. Like, we're not competing in terms of, like, oh, I put out 4 videos this week, and you only put out 3. But it's that rivalry of, like, oh my god, Jay just put out, like, dude, when you put out Genshin Impact and it blew up, I was like,
insane.
there was a fire. Dude, there was a fire in my belly that was like, I need to go do stuff like right now, not to compete and like
No,
to
of
beat
course
you,
not.
but to just be like, oh my god, like that makes me want to go outside and like run through a wall. Like I saw how like great it did, and I was so happy for you, but I literally wanted to run through a wall because I was so pumped and amped about it, and I just like you and everyone else make me want to do better. And while my content's not phenomenal, but it's the best I can do.
Right.
And at least I'm trying, and we're all trying to continue to improve, and I love that. Yeah.
See, it's interesting that you brought up my commentary, because that's the one thing I worry about whenever I record. I'm like, to me, I'm just talking rubbish the whole time. Quite honestly, commentary is probably the one thing I worry about when I record anything. I can definitely notice it on certain episodes of videos. I'm like, oh god, I really like, you know. I don't know. It's just something I worry about all the time. But
I'm the same way though. Like I totally get it, dude.
But to know, you know, to hear that you think, you know, there's a certain way and it's relaxed. That's what I try and do. You know, I'm not trying to be the loudmouth. I'm not trying to, you know, be someone that I'm not. I'm there to enjoy the game and you know, bring you guys along for the journey. So
yeah, I wish, and like what. Part of why I also watch your update videos is because, like, you know, I hear how you kind of approach, and it's also like learning, I guess, for me is like I try to learn from all of you, like everyone I mentioned, you know, including yourself. I'm trying to also learn to better what I'm doing, right? And
right.
like in terms of the voice thing, I totally get it. Like, so I don't know if I'm portraying it in this video as much as I normally do, but I am such a loud person. I am loud all the time, and I hate it. Like, there's only so much you can do to like adjust how you speak until it becomes ASMR, and I'm not trying to do ASMR. So for me, I totally get the like voice thing in videos. Like I always struggle with like, I know that I'm screaming into the mic, but like I just have that personality where like I'm just loud and excited and I just can't help it. And it's so I totally get the whole like being nervous about your audio, but your commentary is great. I love your not just the fact that you're genuine, but also like, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, blow smoke up your butt, but like you are genuine, and like you also aren't screaming into the mic like I am. So I definitely appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate your comments on that, man. It really does mean a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know, I don't get told this stuff that often, so that's what kind of makes me think, oh, am I doing a good, you know, am I doing this right? You know, am I doing it correctly? And so yeah, to hear that means a lot. So anyway, we've gone off track. We got deep for a second.
Kingdom Hearts video or like us like talking about each other? Yeah.
So what's your favorite Kingdom Hearts game? Would you say?
Oh man, you're coming with some really good questions here.
Oh yeah.
Like, I didn't know what to expect with this, but like this has been great. Okay, so my favorite game out of all of them. So so Kingdom Hearts 1 for me has to be up there at number 1.
Okay.
I think it has to be just from nostalgia, but also like for me there are not every Kingdom Hearts game, and you know, don't shoot me guys in the comments. I'm sorry to all the Kingdom Hearts fans. I love Kingdom Hearts with a passion, obviously, as you can hear from what we've talked about. But I don't love every Kingdom Hearts game the same. Like, some of them I could play over and over and over again until I'm blue in the face. Some of them I could play 2 or 3 times and be like, all right, I need a break for a little bit. Kingdom Hearts 1, I could play every day for the rest of my life and not get sick of it. Like,
okay.
There's something about it. Like, I mean, I know people don't always love the jumping and the movement mechanics and all that, but I love it. It's personally, to me, it's my favorite. And then second would have to be Chain of Memories. I know you don't like it, but that's right up there.
And again, it's not that I dislike the story. It's just I can't personally play it because it drives me nuts.
Yeah, but see, the reason I like it is I feel like, one, I'm kind of a masochist, so I like the fact that it like drives me insane. I like causing pain, I guess, to myself clearly by playing Chain of Memories. But I love card games, so anything with cards is just, and the fact that it is based around cards for me is like a perfect combo of Kingdom Hearts and card games. So I love it.
Oh, that's really cool. I've got to go with Kingdom Hearts 2, man. Still to this day, I think even as a kid and at 31 years old, I would say Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game.
Okay.
I don't. I think. I think for me, because it definitely improved on 1. I mean, that's obvious. That's probably, that was their intention the whole time. It just felt
Yeah.
smooth to play. I liked the movement. I liked the combat was very fast and fluid in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah, much more than 1. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I liked a lot of the new and returning worlds to Kingdom Hearts 2. The Pirates of the Caribbean coming in, that was really cool. And again, Halloween Town in Kingdom Hearts 2 was my favorite world.
So much better. Yeah, it's significantly better than the first. I mean, the first one's still good. Like I just said earlier, like I like it. It's just, yeah, the second one for me, I agree, much better. Yeah.
Much better.
I will throw one comment out there. So the only reason I haven't mentioned 2 in my like top 2 or 3 games, my thing that I don't like about it, and I don't know, kind of maybe you'll have a counter for this, so I'm curious what you'll say.
Okay.
I don't like in 2 that you're forced to revisit all the worlds again. That's my one gripe with 2, is that I think the game's improved in many aspects. But for me, what I like about Kingdom Hearts 1 is that you can choose to go back if you want to search for like the Trinities, or sorry, wait, am I kidding? Oh my god. I'm a Kingdom Hearts 1 fanboy, and I can't remember the things on the ground.
Yeah, you had it right. Trinities.
Is it Trinities?
It is Trinities, yeah.
Yeah, the Trinities, the blue, red, and all them. So you can go back in Kingdom Hearts 1, and you can choose to do that. But in Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a bunch of worlds I don't care for, and they force you to do them twice. And so I love the fact that you can go back to them. That's not a problem. But when you start forcing me to do it again, and also too, because you do it twice, I felt like in Kingdom Hearts 2 they shortened the worlds a little bit because you went back to do them again. That's my only gripe with it, is that kind of, that's why it's not in my top 2.
Right. Yeah. No. I absolutely get that. Yeah. That was, they did do that, didn't they? That's very interesting, actually, now that you think about it. Well, we can just forget about Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 2. That didn't exist.
So horrible.
I mean, what were they smoking? What happened there?
They just thought, yeah, guys, we're gonna make a musical out of Atlantica where you literally just do music, like no fighting, like no action, like you're just gonna go to the world and play a song. Like
there was no need.
Oh, God.
It didn't need to be in there.
It didn't. Yeah, that was the worst world of that game.
You could have taken that out and put something else in there, but no. We had to fart around, dancing and singing.
Oh my gosh, that was hard. I forgot about that until you just said that. That makes me so sad that they could have put anything else there, and that's what they chose. And like, you know what's funny too is like, you would think that, okay, so we had Atlantica in the first game, let's make it in the second game and add more to it, right?
Right.
Nope. We rip everything out of 1 and we just put in a music song. It's a song, and it's like, what? That's why.
Because they were definitely thinking, yeah, the fan base are gonna love this.
Oh, that's all they're gonna buy it for. They're not going to the other worlds. They're going to Atlantica.
Oh, Jesus. Here's a question I'm going to throw out to you. Probably another good question that you're going to hate me for.
Oh boy.
What would you say to a newcomer of Kingdom Hearts? What should a newcomer to Kingdom Hearts expect, without obviously spoiling stuff? What do you think?
What would I say to a newcomer to Kingdom Hearts? I would say, so if I could say like one quick short, like either like phrase or sentence or something, I would say be patient.
Okay.
I feel like people that jump into Kingdom Hearts, and I feel like people do this in other franchises as well, whether it's video games or shows, people start to play the game, they go through the first one, they start going through some of the chain of memory stuff in 2, and they kind of just go, okay, the story makes no sense, which it doesn't. It is very confusing, but like, if you just like stay patient and just focus more so on the things that you can understand, allow the game to tell the story. Like, I know that that's easier said than done. I've played the games 100 times and there's still parts of the story I don't understand, but like, I would just say be patient. But if I was also talking to a newcomer, I would say, and I'm trying to think of what I would say outside of saying like be patient. I guess I would say something like, I don't know, I guess maybe be open-minded, because this franchise takes so many twists and turns from like, not just the story, but like the different keyblades or key swords you get, the characters, because they added Final Fantasy stuff. There's Disney, there's new heroes, there's enemies. Like I would just say be open-minded to it. There's just so much going on. It's not as straightforward. Like I look at something like a Dragon Quest.
Oh.
And I love Dragon Quest, and it's one of I'm having a lot of fun playing 8 right now. But I would say Dragon Quest to me seems a lot more straightforward. There's typically a hero.
Yep.
You have a couple party members. You have items and equipment. You can change them out and adjust your party as you need to. And there's one main story, and that story is just kind of like you have it's a very linear path. Kingdom Hearts is not like that. There's 50 different things going on at once, and none of them connect, and even until the end of the game, and even then, some of those pieces don't connect until future games. So
yes.
It's more so be patient and just be open-minded, I guess.
Yeah, and I'd say that's probably the main thing you need to do with Kingdom Hearts is be patient. That's all I could probably say as well. Just be patient. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're coming into this for the first time, I think you're going to enjoy it for sure. Will you be confused? Absolutely. Same as everybody else when they played this for the first time. What was going on? And Kingdom Hearts is still going, so I'm sure there's a lot more to be confused about. There's probably a lot more to learn, which is exciting for Kingdom Hearts fans for sure.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Good.
No, go on, buddy.
Well, I was just gonna say one thing that I think would be nice to tell a newcomer as well is that not every Kingdom Hearts game is the same, which you may think at first like, oh, that stinks, like I'd like to see multiple of the same thing. They're not all the same because you have one of them is a standard JRPG,
right?
One of them is a card game, one of them is a like command deck system,
right?
One of them is like I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like there's a couple command deck systems, but they're all different. Like some of them have that Final Fantasy VII feel where you have to wait for the load time to finish.
Oh, okay.
And then once the action time or whatever it's called, and then once that finishes loading, you can do your action, whatever that may be. Kingdom Hearts has so many different functions to it, and that's also why I think I love it, because the games all just have something different in each one in terms of like a completely different way to play the game. Whereas, like I said, not to crap on Dragon Quest because it's a great franchise, but like it's all very much the same. The only difference is the story's different slightly. So
yeah, I totally agree with that one. Actually, yeah, they are. I mean, despite I haven't played them all, but I know that the battle systems are very different in each one. And actually, thinking about it, I think I've played a tiny bit of Birth by Sleep, but that was a very long time ago, so I don't really remember too much.
That's a really good one if you get a chance. I highly recommend it. It's so good.
Like I say, I'll be doing these games eventually on the channel, so there'll be blind Kingdom Hearts playthroughs as well as ones I've already played. So eventually,
nice, I like it.
What's your opinion on Kingdom Hearts 3? Because I know there's a lot of naysayers out there.
Oh man, Kingdom Hearts 3, that is wow, you really came prepared with these questions. As someone who hasn't played all the games, you came with the right questions. So, Kingdom Hearts 3, so for me, I know not everyone feels the same way, but for me, the more I played Kingdom Hearts 3, so I've played Kingdom Hearts 3 now 3 or 4 different times, all the way through. And I really do actually like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
I will say at first, I wasn't the biggest fan. There's a couple things that were kind of like this wasn't my, this isn't my kind of cup of tea. But I think sometimes you got to give these things time. Like Kingdom Hearts 3, there's some issues with it, and it's still not perfect, but like, it still gave us a lot of new stuff. And again, it's another Kingdom Hearts game, and I don't want to spoil really too much because I don't think you've played this, right? You haven't played 3?
No, I've played Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, you did?
I did,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I've only played it the once, and that's when it released, so that's the last time I played it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I can talk about 3. Perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, like, 3, I think had some good stuff. I really liked the Pirates of the Caribbean world. I thought riding the ship was really cool and controlling it. Also, like, collecting the white snow crabs to help with that part of the story. They really built out that entire like there's like 4 different towns you can go to in Pirates of the Caribbean in Kingdom Hearts 3, but there's like this waterfall, there's like a ton of stuff you can explore, but I felt like they did a good job with the worlds. They added this new thing where like you can kind of, well, this is not really new. You kind of had this thing in Dream Drop Distance, but you could run up the walls, and it had like the you had like the white line you could see on the walls that you could actually run up. But then when you jumped off them, you would kind of be like skydiving, and then when you go to land, you can press like I think X or whatever it was, and do like a landing attack. But they also had like they had a lot of really cool stuff. They did like they had a like Buzz Lightyear roller coaster kind of ride that you could do. It was like a team command. I can't remember what it is because it's been a minute since I played it, but overall, just to answer your question, I really did like it.
Yeah.
I understand the complaints from people, but I would say the pros outweigh the cons for me.
Okay. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3. I wouldn't say I disliked it. I thought the worlds were really cool. Here's the question: what do you think about the whole the whole Verum Rex? Do you think it'll become a thing? And if so, do you think you'd be excited for it?
So I am excited for it, and my reason for excitement, and this is part of why I liked Kingdom Hearts 3, which I don't think people take enough into account, which maybe they do, and I just don't listen to enough people online, but I like the Verum Rex thing, and here's the reason why is because we focus so heavily on Final Fantasy characters in the first several Kingdom Hearts games, right? And I love that. They're all great. They all have their role. It's awesome. I love Final Fantasy. You know, it's great to see them in there. However, I don't mind jumping into a different group of new characters, and that's what we're doing as we're heading down the path of Kingdom Hearts 4, which I think is coming out next year, or no, not next year, sorry, but it's coming out within the next few years, I hope.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we have a date for that. I know that there was a trailer, and we got some news on it. I don't remember when it's releasing.
I don't think there's no date yet, or planned date
Yeah, I don't
anyway.
think there's a date. I don't know why I thought there was, but yeah, like I like the Verum Rex stuff because I think we're starting to expand into other groups of characters, and I think it's okay to move on from Leon and Aerith and Tifa and Yuffie. Like we had those for several of the main classic Kingdom Hearts games. They were important characters, and that's wonderful. I'm okay with changing to new characters, and I like the look of some of these, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, because I think they've now established that they've got their own set of Kingdom, like they've got their own Kingdom Hearts characters now. So yes, Final Fantasy characters were a good, nice little addition to Kingdom Hearts, but I think with all these actual Kingdom Hearts characters, they've got a reason to have these guys with their own story. So they're, as nice as it is, it's probably, like you say, they can move on now, I think. It's not necessarily needed.
Well, and I won't complain if we get Kingdom Hearts 4 and like the main town is like a revamp of Traverse Town and you go talk to Leon and Cloud. Like, obviously I'm not going to complain about having them back in the game, but to your point that you just made, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 had nothing to lean on in terms of it being a popular game.
Right.
When it came out, it heavily relied on Leon, Cloud. I mean, you fight Cloud in the tournament. You've got Leon, who is one of your good friends. You've got Yuffie, Aerith. They're main parts of the story. Sid. I could go on, but like, that's what helped make Kingdom Hearts amazing, because people already built that love for Final Fantasy. So seeing that, plus Disney is got a diehard fan base of its own. So both of those merged with these Kingdom Hearts characters made it wonderful. But again, to your point, it's so popular now, you don't need them to keep it going. So I'm fine with meeting new and different characters, but I also wouldn't hate to see Final Fantasy come back.
Right, yeah, of course. Which I guess, brings us to Kingdom Hearts 4. If nobody knows, I don't know why you wouldn't. Kingdom Hearts 4 has obviously been announced. It's a thing. We know it's happening. Again, there's no release date. I think it's very early on yet. Because, let's be honest, Square Enix are absolutely smashing it out the park with projects. It's absolutely insane. Final Fantasy fanboy over here literally lost my mind the other night when we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth announced. Oh my god, and a Crisis Core remake, which is fantastic because I've never played Crisis Core, and I was going to do it on the channel after I beat the original 7, but I think now I might just wait for this new, you know, I don't know, remaster, remake. I don't even know what you'd call it.
And it's going to be a part 3 for the Final Fantasy VII remake, right? There's a third title that's going to come out sometime in the future.
It's official. It's going to be a trilogy, so that's good confirmation. You know, this thing's not going to be going on for like 10 years. So, but boy, was I excited. I was like a little kid at Christmas.
That's awesome.
But yeah, what would you like to see, British Eagle, from Kingdom Hearts 4? What do you think they could do different for you that you'd be like, yep, this is the one. This is the game.
So I think one of the things I would like to not see in Kingdom Hearts 4 is I don't want, like, and I'm sorry, this goes back to the game you like the most. I don't like the spam triangle in a boss fight, and you'll be able to get out of whatever they're doing.
Right.
Because there was a lot of those cutscenes in Kingdom Hearts 2 where, like, you can just spam triangle, and then the moment it pops up, because you're spamming it, in that cutscene, because there's usually 1 or 2 cutscenes in main boss battles where, in number 2, where they'll, like, throw you up in the air, and you're in midair, and if you spam triangle, when the boss goes to punch you while you're in the air, you all of a sudden flip, hit them with the Keyblade, land safely, and do, like, 1,000 damage. Not 1,000, but, like, a full bar of damage or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to not see in Kingdom Hearts 4. Let's move away from, like, the spammy stuff like that. I also, what I'm hoping to see, and I think we kind of got this from the first or second trailer, it looks like in one of the trailers, and I'm a die-hard Star Wars fan, so I'm hyped about this.
Yeah.
It looks like the bottom of a, oh my god, I just said I'm a die-hard Star Wars fan.
He's forgot.
I can't think of what they're called. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Star Wars, I want to say they're called walkers. Yes, they're walkers. Okay, I had it right. I just didn't say it. There we go. Okay, so the giant walkers, their feet, one of their 4 bottoms of their feet, it looks like they show part of it in the grass during the trailer, and it looks like kind of a mountainous or a grassy, foresty terrain, like in one of the main areas in Star Wars in the original 3 movies. So I'm hoping, if that is true, that we're getting a Star Wars world. And the idea of a a Kingdom Hearts lightsaber Keyblade.
Oh my god.
Just sounds so cool to me. Like, I don't know how that would work, like the functionality of it. I don't know if you would ignite the Keyblade. That to me just sounds absolutely insane. And if they make that, I'm going to Etsy, I'm hiring someone to build me one, and I'm getting it tomorrow, because that, oh my god, I would lose my marbles.
You know
that
what?
Would just be insane.
Thinking about it, that sounds pretty badass, to be fair. That sounds really cool.
Well, just like, I can see Sora, Donald, and Goofy, like, walking through Endor and just being like, look, Skywalker, like, yeah, it's Luke, like, you know, just like them meeting him, and just, you know, he's like, hey, Sora, may the Force be with you, and I would just, as a Kingdom Hearts fan and a Star Wars fan, I would just lose it. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for from Kingdom Hearts 4, is a Star Wars world, because that's part of Disney now.
Yeah, of course it is, and it makes absolutely a lot of sense. I think it's going to be a thing, let's be honest. I think there's enough evidence there, I think, to... And especially these deep dives that people do on YouTube, I think I definitely think there's going to be a Star Wars world.
Well, I saw a video. That's the only reason why I noticed, because when I watched the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, I was so enamored by, like, just the trailer happening that I didn't notice some of those, like, deep dive things. And I went on YouTube like an hour after the trailer dropped, and there was like 50 videos of, like, did you see this one small speck of the grass over on the right side? And I'm like, how would I have spotted that? But people broke it down, and it looks like the foot of a walker from Star Wars. And I'm telling you right now, I may cry if that actually happens. Like, oh my gosh, it's good. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh man, what do you think? What do you think of the idea of a? Well, first of all, do you think it would work? But what do you think of the idea of a open world Kingdom Hearts game? Do you think it would work?
How so? Like, what's your thought with that? Like, in terms of open world, are you saying like an MMO where, like, everyone's a Keyblade wielder and they're all, like, logged into an online system, like, just playing through the story. Like I can see 50 people in the lobby in Olympus Coliseum. Is that what you were thinking?
Well, I guess you could have, I don't know, the way I've kind of thought about it is you'd still go to like other worlds and stuff. But I guess the worlds themselves are probably a lot more open and free, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that would be possible, but yeah, that's
like
kind
if
of...
it's so you don't mean like an online, like you're not saying like, so you're not thinking more so an MMO, you just mean like open world in terms of like there's like there's less restrictions, like there's no
Right.
invisible walls blocking you off from like an extra spare room or something. That, yeah, I would like that. I mean, I don't know, it's hard to say because I've played MMOs and I've done not a ton of them, but I've played a couple of them, and like I don't know how that would, like I don't know how that would function with Kingdom Hearts. I don't think it's not doable. I know there is an online there's an online Kingdom Hearts game. It's a mobile game, I believe, where you can create your own Keyblade wielder. And
Oh.
I don't really like it, to be honest. Not that it's bad or like not that it doesn't play well, but it's um it's not Sora. It's not Riku. It's not Kyrie. It's British Eagle. And like that doesn't have any appeal to me.
Right.
I play these games because of those characters, and I play because of Donald and Goofy and Yen Sid and all them. And like I don't know, like I tried the mobile game, and you get like a very weird Starlight Keyblade, and I don't like it. It's not Kingdom Key. Like all of that is not what I want. So for me, I don't know that it would work. It probably would for basically anyone who wants to buy something that has the Kingdom Hearts title in it.
Right. Yeah.
What about you?
Oh man, it's again, I've just kind of thought of it off the top of my head, but when you kind of break it down, it's like, how would it really work? Because what we know so far about Kingdom Hearts 4 is this. I don't know how to pronounce the name. You know, well, they've called it the hub area of Kingdom Hearts 4. This town that we're in, or this big city that Sora has woken up in.
Oh yes. I'll look it up. Hold on.
I just can't pronounce it.
Oh yeah, it's called
Begins with
I
Q.
gotta look this. Yeah, it's a Quadratum. Quadratum. Yep.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. That's basically supposed to be the hub area of Kingdom Hearts 4.
Traverse Town, but for Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah. I don't know how it would work, but I guess that's how I was kind of getting into it. If like, even if you went to different kind of worlds or Disney worlds, yeah, there's probably less restrictions and it's more open, and just the areas are bigger, I guess. I mean, you probably couldn't do to do a full just straight out open world Kingdom Hearts game. I don't think would ever work, because the whole purpose of Kingdom Hearts is going to these different worlds and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe.
I would say, actually, from what you've just said with the whole open world thing, I wouldn't mind that kind of tying back into what I want to see for Kingdom Hearts 4. So outside of Star Wars and like a Keyblade lightsaber, I would love to see them like really deep dive into some of these worlds. So like instead of Kingdom Hearts 4 giving us 14 worlds, and those worlds have 2 rooms in them that are very small, I would rather have like 7 instead of 13 worlds, I'd rather have 7 extremely deep and like detailed worlds where, like, just like you said, like you can go through and fully explore. Like a good example is Olympus Coliseum in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Right.
The reason that's never going to be my favorite world is because you get there and you've got this big open area where there's a bunch of pots that you can break. There's 2 statues of guys holding swords up. You walk through the door, and it's a small little corridor before the Coliseum, and that's it. Like, there's nothing to the world. You can't go explore. There's not really, like, the enemies you fight are in the actual tournaments, but there's no platforming. There's no multiple rooms to different areas. Like, I would even argue that Alice in Wonderland's better than Olympus Coliseum. Even though the tournament's great, I want the ability to go explore and, like, feel like there's liveliness to a world.
Right.
And that's what I want for Kingdom Hearts 4. They really should. Don't give us 20 worlds that have 1 room. Give us 7 really well thought out worlds.
Detailed,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
What other worlds would you like to see for Kingdom Hearts 4?
I wouldn't, honestly, I hate to go back to this. I wouldn't mind them expanding on Deep Jungle, bring that back. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but I'd be curious to see what they did if they brought that back.
Yeah.
I don't know how the villain or anything would work. So that would be one that I'd say would be like a returning world. A new world I wouldn't mind seeing. I actually would love, and this is me being a super huge fanboy of Final Fantasy X, I'd love to see them pick an area from Final Fantasy X and make that like, and you could do that with any of the Final Fantasy games. Like, Final Fantasy VII, you pick a very, well-known town and make that their world. Like, take like part of a woods area or something, or give them an area to fight Heartless. But I would love to see like Final Fantasy X. I'd probably say Xanarkand. Like maybe you have Xanarkand's world, and like you have to go through the ruins, and you see Seymour's spirit or like his ghost, and like you maybe fight like Unalesca or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you'd introduce that, but a Final Fantasy actual, like, I guess we kind of had that with Hollow Bastion, to be fair. That was meant to be more of like a Final Fantasy kind of world, but I would love to see actually like go into the world and it pops up with Xanarkand.
Oh
and
my god.
Like, oh, wow. Or even like Besaid Island, like where you meet Waka and Lulu.
Right.
And, Waka was in the first game, so that actually would make more sense too.
Dude, Square Enix need to hire you. That is such a
Dude,
cool idea.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much they could do with that, and that's why I think sometimes it's disappointing that we get like Atlantica, where you sing and stuff. And it's like, guys, you have so many things you can do with this. Like, go expand. Like, there's so much you can use, and it's just, yeah. I would love that, though. I would love to see a Final Fantasy world, like an actual, or I guess a city within that world or something.
Yeah, could you like imagine just returning to one of like your favorite FF worlds, like in higher, graphical fidelity? That'd just be incredible.
Well, and if you think about it too, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, if you think about it, now that we're talking about this, Final Fantasy X makes the most sense, because in Kingdom Hearts 1, you had Tidus and you had Waka, right? So they're both in 10. They're the main characters. You have in Kingdom Hearts 2, you have Auron.
Yeah.
He's from the underworld, right, with Hades and all that.
Yeah.
You've got Yuna, Pain, and Riku from Final Fantasy X2. They're like the fairies in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes, they are.
So you've got all these Final Fantasy X, and granted, you could do 7 because you got all the characters from 7 are basically in it. But but in terms of if you did choose 10 would work very well. You could do Besaid, and I would argue you could be like, maybe you wash up on shore, and Tidus and Waka are throwing the Blitzball to each other. And you have the Blitzball team there, and you walk back with them, and you fight Heartless on the same path to get to the city of Besaid. And you go in, and you see Yuna's just summoned Valfor, and she sends it away. And she's trying to defend against like this Heartless that just showed up, and like Lulu's damaged or something. Kamari's beaten down, and like this Heartless is wrecking the city of Besaid, and all the people are running, and and then you could throw in as well like the peace sign that they do, where they kind of move their hands and they bow. Like, dude, there's so much you could do with that, and I would love it.
I think the British Eagle just made his own game. That sounded incredible.
Dude, I'd love it.
I was just sat here taking it all in. I was like, yeah, come on, carry on. Tell me more. Oh man, I think. What do you think about the idea? I mean, never say never, but do you think they would ever remake, say, Kingdom Hearts 1? Do you think it's possible?
That's tough because, well, I guess it's not tough. I say it's tough because I think they would struggle with it.
Okay.
Not necessarily from making the game, but having the same success. Only because part of the charm of Kingdom Hearts 1 is those like old school kind of graphics that like really capture it, kind of like Final Fantasy 7. We keep going back to Final Fantasy 7, but it relates a lot to it. I felt like personally for Final Fantasy 7 Remake, there was a divide between fans that love the game or hate it. And some of those fans that I think hated it is because they had that like diehard affliction to the original one, and that charm of like the pixels and how it all looks. You don't have that same charm in the remake, even though remake looks phenomenal. So I think that comparatively, I think that Kingdom Hearts 1 would struggle because I'm trying to imagine Kingdom Hearts 1 now with modern day graphics, and I think it would look great. But part of what's great about Kingdom Hearts 1 is you go to jump onto a mushroom in Alice in Wonderland's world, and the jumping mechanic is so strange that, like, if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 1 before, you're going to struggle to hop on the mushroom because there's a way you jump that you land. It's hard to explain, but the jumping mechanic a lot of people hate it, but once you get used to it, you know how to do it.
Right, yeah.
Whereas now, if they remade the game, I think that would go away, and the jumping would be more like what people consider floaty, where it's like you press X and you're like in the air for like 10 seconds.
Right,
That's
yeah.
not how Kingdom Hearts 1 was. And
Right.
so I don't know that I would like that. I'd check it out. If it came out, I'd absolutely buy it, but I don't know that it would... I don't think it would sit with me better than Kingdom Hearts 1, the original.
Right. Off topic slightly, because we're talking about remakes. Do you think you'll play The Last of Us Part 1 remake?
Okay, I love The Last of Us. Like, it is so good. I think I've bought, like, one of each copy. I bought the original, I bought the remaster, I bought the second one.
Yeah.
I bought the prequel thing with the girl and
oh,
her
the DLC.
friend.
Yeah.
Yes, the DLC. Yeah, like I love The Last of Us. I'll probably get it and play it. I don't think there's a need for it. Like I think Mage tweeted this the other week. He was like,
He did,
"Do
yeah.
I need to buy and play another Last of Us game?" No. Am I going to? Yes. And I love that. That's probably me as well. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I'm definitely excited for it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
From what I've seen so far, it looks very, very, they've done a great job, like, considering, taking a 9-year-old game, and, I think that's the other problem, like, people are like, yeah, we don't need it, the game's not even 10 years old yet, so that's kind of, I think, people's main gripe, that the fact that we don't need this remake, because it's, the remaster or the original still holds up today, so, which, I agree with. But it's nice, I guess. I'm still excited, regardless. So.
And this is probably a conversation for another day because this topic could go on for a long time.
Right.
But Last of Us 2 is it got a ton of hate when it first came out. I was one of the people hating on it. I love The Last of Us 2. I actually think it's so good. I've played it. I think when it first came out, I played it on stream. Or no, I think I played it on my own. Then I played it on stream. Then I played it on my own again. And the more I played it, I fell in love with it. And, like, there are flaws in the game, kind of like, I have some flaws that I feel like are issues in some of the Kingdom Hearts games. The Last of Us 2 is fantastic. It's a really good game. I know people give it crap, but, like, trust me, it's good. I love it.
Yeah, I've only played it the once, and that was on the channel. But I think I want to go back through it again. I think my plan is... and I want to do it on the channel again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till The Last of Us Part 1 remake comes out, probably do that on the channel, and then I will probably go back through Part 2 again for a second time. Nice. With a fresh pair of eyes, because, I've only done it the once, and that's pretty much when it came out, so...
Wow.
Again, you probably know more about Kingdom Hearts than I do. Is there a specific order to play... Like, obviously, you've got the main line, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, but is there a specific order you should play the spin-offs in after, the main line ones? Because I'm never sure in what order I should be going in.
So, typically there's two ways that people play. You can play anyway, obviously, whatever you prefer, but the way that I did it as a kid, and it's different to how I do it now. As a kid, I always started with Kingdom Hearts 1, and then I did Chain of Memories, and then I did Kingdom Hearts 2, and, like, I did not go in order. I kind of just played them.
Okay.
The main ways to go about it is, if I remember correctly, so it's Kingdom Hearts 1, and this is more of I think this is more of the release date way to play the game. So it'd be Kingdom Hearts 1 is first, Chain of Memories is second, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the third one. No, wait. I think 358 over 2 days came out before 2. I'd have to...
Look it up.
I'd have to look it up in terms of... let me do Kingdom Hearts release dates. Even for someone like myself who's played these games over and over again, it's
because 358 over 2 days was a game as well, wasn't it? I know like the HD version is just cutscenes, but it was an actual game. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a game, and or 350. Yeah, it was a game. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, it was a game that you could play. I think it was Game Boy Advance, if I remember correctly. In terms of oh no, I think it was Nintendo DS. So I have the list here. So this would be the order that you would play if you were doing based on release. So it would be Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. It would be Chain of Memories. Then it would be Kingdom Hearts 2. So I was right about that. I just lost confidence in myself. So it would be Chain of Memories. It would be Kingdom Hearts 2. Then it would be Coded, which it was a mobile game, which was really rough. And then I think they made that into like a movie, I think, now in the remake of like the collection edition, I guess, of all the games. Then you'd have so you'd have Coded, 352 or 358 over 2 days, Birth by Sleep. You would have Dream Drop Distance. And then there's some mobile games or online games, like there's Kingdom Hearts Unchained or Union X, they call it. I didn't play much of those games. You can really go online and honestly just watch the cutscenes. Some people have made them into a full movie, so you don't actually have to play the game. Okay. I didn't really like the game, to be honest, so I just watched the full video. I think it's like a 50-minute video of all the cutscenes together. It is part of the story. It's part of the canon.
Okay.
And then it would be, so then back to the main games, it would be Birth by Sleep, 0.2, A Fragmentary Passage. Then you would go Back Cover, which is a movie, Kingdom Hearts 3, Remind DLC, and then there's Dark Road, another mobile game, and the last one is Melody and Memory that came out in 2020. That's one way to play it, and typically as a kid, that's kind of the order I played it in, was I would just go from the very first game that came out to the most recent, because I thought that was the best way to play it.
Yeah.
My preference nowadays is to play it in chronological order. So like Birth by Sleep would be first. Birth by Sleep is when Sora and Riku are kids, and they do have some part in the game, sort of. But you've got Birth by Sleep, then it would be the Kingdom Hearts 1, then Chain of Memories, then really the only difference in the order is that Birth by Sleep starts first. And then the rest are still pretty much the same. It's still Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, 358, Kingdom Hearts 2, Coded, Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3, the DLC, and then Memory. So if you take out the mobile games, there's so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 games, I guess you would consider it, but
that's a lot of Kingdom Hearts.
It's a lot, and they're all different, and there's lots of characters, and it's a lot to keep up with. But like I said before, just, be patient if you're playing this for the first time. Just,
yeah, I was going to say.
Give it a chance. It's worth it.
Enjoy it. So, I'm about to disappoint you, British Eagle.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hold on to your pants, because...
Uh-oh.
So...
What if I don't have pants on?
Oh. Well, then we have an issue there. YouTube, don't take my video down.
Sorry.
So despite playing these games, I wouldn't say multiple times. I've played Kingdom Hearts 1 a few times, definitely played Kingdom Hearts 2 a few times. I've only played Kingdom Hearts 3 once, that's when it came out. But there's still stuff in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 that I've never done. Like, so this is the disappointing bit. I've never, ever got Sora's ultimate Keyblade, ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
You need to go to your room. Right
I'm in my room.
If you're in your room, leave the room, then come back in, and then leave it again.
Okay.
I don't even know what to say to that. You haven't gotten the Ultima weapon. Wow.
No.
The Ultima sword, not Keyblade, sword.
Sword, yes.
Wow.
There's no such thing as Keyblades.
No, not a thing.
No. Yeah, no, I've never done it. I think it's because I never knew.
Oh.
I'm a pain when it comes to knowing, because I know a part of getting like the ultimate Keyblade is finding materials and stuff, right? It's, your typical get this, get that, craft it together. It's basically a synthesis shop, isn't it?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I just never knew where to get specific stuff, so I think that's why I've never actually ever managed to get it. So
wow.
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like, I'm sure there's a ton of people that have played Kingdom Hearts that love it that haven't done that.
Right.
As someone who has beaten Kingdom Hearts 1 a million times and 100%ed it 2 times or 3 times, like I always when I do my updated version of my Let's Play, I'm gonna 100% it again.
Yeah.
The ultimate weapon is pretty ultimate. Like, it's pretty sick, and it's a really good Keyblade. I don't know that it's my favorite. I think it's powerful and it's very good for magic, and obviously it's the best upgrade in the game. But I recommend if you do play through the game, you give it a shot to try and get it.
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
I will say there are parts of the material that you need that are more difficult to get than you would expect. But once you get over the hump with that, it'll be like, oh, I did it. I got the ultimate weapon. Oh, this is sick. Nice.
Yeah, well, that's definitely my plan for when I do Kingdom Hearts on the channel. Because,
I can't believe
you know,
though. Wow.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You know? yeah, I figured. God damn it. But you actually, you own some Keyblades yourself, don't you, in real life?
I do, yeah.
I've seen them in your background.
Oh, yep. I love them. It's funny because, you know, I could be playing Pokemon on stream. I could be playing The Last of Us. And there's always someone that comes into the stream and goes, oh, my God, I love your Keyblades. And I'm like, and it makes my heart, like, so happy. I'm like the Grinch. Like, my heart grew 3 sizes. Like, I get so excited when people say, like, oh, is that Keyblades in the background? So I have 3 Keyblades. So I need to, because I always mess this up. Drake, one of my mods, X1, you know him. Drake. He always corrects me on this, and I always forget the name of it. So I just looked it up so I don't mess this up. So I know the Kingdom Key. That's actually the Kingdom Key I purchased on Etsy.
Oh.
And I asked them to handcraft it out of wood because I found someone that was able to literally make weapons and like video game weapons out of wood. It takes a couple weeks, but they handcraft it. My Kingdom Key is heavy. It's like a good 5 pounds, 6 to 7 pounds, and but it's so cool to hold like something that's not foam.
Right.
So I've got the Kingdom Key. I've got the this is the one that I mess up. It's called the Ends of the Earth, which is Terra's Keyblade, which I love Terra. And then I have the Oblivion Keyblade.
Oh.
However, there's 2 things that I want to purchase that are not on my wall yet that I want to get. And the 2 things I want to get is, so I want to get well, there's a lot of things I want to get from my Kingdom Hearts collection, but one of the things I want to get is Axel is my favorite character in all of Kingdom Hearts. He always will be. He has these things in the earlier games of Kingdom Hearts that are like these spiky circles. They're called his chakrams. And I want to get them, and I found someone online who will make them. The only thing is, when you find someone online to make authentic-looking, like, video game stuff, it's not cheap.
No, it's definitely not.
I'm going to have to wait a while to get it, but there's also a Keyblade that Axel gets, and it's like his chakrams are just turned into a Keyblade, so... in the future, I will have those, and also the Oathkeeper Keyblade. That's another one I want to get. Because you can't get the Oblivion Keyblade without Oathkeeper for reasons that are from Kingdom Hearts 2, so.
Right. Yeah, I want a Buster Sword. That's what I want. I just want one.
Did you see the clock that they came out with in the trailer, the merchandise? It's the sword, and it's obviously a clock somehow interpreted into it, but it looks cool.
Yeah, and it's nearly £200.
Oh my gosh! I'm not getting that then.
Yeah.
Wow. But the Buster Sword would be sick. I always wanted the Gunblade. I always wanted Leon's.
Oh yeah, the Gunblade.
Am I saying that right? The Gunblade.
Gunblade, yeah.
Gunblade. Okay. I haven't played 8 really that much, so like I don't know much about the game, but I always see Leon from Kingdom Hearts, and I look at his Gunblade, and I'm like, wow, I want one of those.
I want one of those.
Cool. Yeah.
Talking of Final Fantasy, obviously you've done. I mean, this is slightly off topic again, but we're here for a discussion. So far on your channel, you've done Final Fantasy X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plans to do any other Final Fantasies or dip your toes into any FF worlds in the future? Because I would love to see you play some other games.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So 10 is really main Final Fantasy game that I know like top to bottom that I've played like hundreds of times.
Yeah.
That game for me is probably right up there with Kingdom Hearts 1. So that's why I played it on the channel. In terms of the other Final Fantasy games, so like when I was a kid, I remember playing on my Game Boy the original like Final Fantasy game. Like I played some of the like, I guess they were like I don't know what you called. They're like ported to the Game Boy. I think the word ported is the right way to say it.
Yeah,
there was Game Boy Advance games for Final Fantasy, and I played a couple of those, and I really enjoyed them. I played a little bit of 7. I actually, so it's frustrating. So 7, to answer your question, yes, I would probably play Final Fantasy on the channel.
Yeah.
7 and 8 to me would almost be a blind playthrough because 7, when I was a kid, my cousin, when I lived in England, for those of you that don't know, I was born in England and I moved.
He was born in England.
Yeah. Yep. I'm kind of a Brit, just a very little, sort of, kind of a Brit. But yeah, so I lived in England, and when I was there, my cousin got Final Fantasy VII. I was like, hey man, what's this? This looks cool, you know? And I'm a little kid, and he's the older cousin, so he was like, you can't play it, but you can watch a little bit. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And I was not allowed to get it when I was a little kid. I guess my parents just didn't buy it, and I guess maybe it was I don't know. I don't think there was much like gore or like anything graphical that was bad. I mean, so I don't know why I didn't get it, but I never got it as a kid, and so I didn't play it that much. But if I could, I probably would do 7 or 8 on the channel, give it a shot.
Ooh.
I did 9 on Twitch, and that was really fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that was like years ago now.
That would be cool. Because I'm a sucker for, well, anyone playing Final Fantasy blind for the first time. It doesn't matter which entry, you know. I'm a big fanboy, so to see, and especially seeing my friends playing it blind for the first time, like that's just really, really cool to me. I just love that kind of stuff.
Huh. I might have to try it, honestly. Yeah, I think Final Fantasy... if I was going to pick one, it'd have to be Final Fantasy VII, the original.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably have to do that, yeah.
But you know our rule, Eagle. You can't play it until I've finished.
Oh, yes. Well, obviously, yeah. No, I'm not doing it right now. No, of course not. I've got too much on my plate right now.
Yeah,
anyway.
me too.
I'll wait down the road for that, so... but yeah, no, not a bad idea. I like it.
No, that'd be cool, man. Yeah, so... Oh, man, what else do I want to talk about? Kingdom Hearts.
Well, do you have a favorite Keyblade? Because you've asked me a lot of questions. I mean, I want to hear your answers too. Like, what's your favorite Keyblade, or do you have one?
I would have to go with the Oblivion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just love the design. Yeah, it's really fucking cool. It's just really cool.
It's a black and, for those of you that don't know, it's a black and silver Keyblade, and like it's got these like at the handle, it's got like these black, like almost like bat kind of curved wing things, and they look really sick. Yeah, it's a good Keyblade to choose.
What about your favorite? Just because obviously you get Keyblades from each world that you visit. What's your favorite world Keyblade, shall we say?
In terms of like design, or just getting it that like provides like the best in-game boost, or like,
yeah, or what one you probably use the most?
Which one do I use the most? If we're talking about Kingdom Hearts 1, I would probably say... I think so. You get... I mean, there's a lot of really good Keyblades. Hold on. Sorry, I know I didn't plan on doing this, but let me look
He's gonna look it up.
Kingdom Hearts 1 all Keyblades. So just because I know if I see one of them, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, no, it's totally this one. Sorry, guys. List of Keyblades. So... Okay, here they are. So, in terms of Keyblades that I use the most, it's really... I guess typically what I do in Kingdom Hearts 1 is I always upgrade based on what I think I need in that moment. So, like, you know, if I'm going to a world where I know I'm going to fight certain enemies, and this is different for me because I've played them so many times, but if I go to a world where I know magic is going to be my main focus, I'm going to go to a Keyblade like... a really good one is Fairy Harp. That's good for max MP. Spellbinder is actually better than that one, but I think you get Fairy Harp before Spellbinder. But the one I would say I use the most, I would probably say I have used the most. Well, but this is like the end of the game Keyblade, but I use Diamond Dust. It's a really, really cool ice Keyblade.
Oh.
In all the video games that I play, I always am a sucker for like ice worlds. Like my favorite part of Final Fantasy X is the Macalania Woods and the Macalania Temple.
Oh, yeah,
because of the ice world and Shiva and all that. So I would say Diamond Dust. When I get to the end of the game and I'm like trying to complete it 100%, Diamond Dust, I go to that because it gives you the best MP. It enhances your magic insanely. But if we're talking like early game, probably like I'd probably say I'd probably say the Jungle King. I hate to go back to Deep Jungle, but like the jungle, because it's got a long reach. So like if you're focusing on just because early game you don't get a ton of good magic.
Right.
So I typically focus on like hitting enemies quite a bit with the Keyblade, obviously for like hack and slash.
Yeah.
And the Jungle King is the longest reach early game. Actually, it might be the longest reach until you get Pumpkinhead, but that's like one of the final worlds is Halloween Town. So.
Yeah, now you're going to have to remind me if you've got the list there. I don't know the name of it, but I know it's the one that Bell gives you, I believe, in Hollow Bastion.
Ooh, Divine Rose.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's when you speak to Belle. Yeah, she gives it to you. Dude, that's a really good one because it has a chance for critical hits. That one's super nice.
Yeah, I think
that's a good choice.
Once I got that one, I used that quite a lot.
I like it. Yeah, it's cool because it's got that rose at the end of where the Keyblade like head is, I guess. So yeah, I love that. I do like too. I'm gonna throw this out there. For me, the part of the reason I love Kingdom Hearts, I love the like. It's so unethical, and it doesn't make, or maybe not unethical is the right word. It's so like. It makes no sense to have this, but I love the keychain at the end of the Keyblades, like the little the keychain with the Mickey Mouse face on it. Makes zero sense, and it's not very logical for battles to have a keychain swinging around. You imagine like doing an overhead attack with your Kingdom Key,
just whipping
and the
yourself.
Keychain just hits you in the eye, and you're like, I can't see now. Okay, great, this is wonderful. Like it's so impractical, but yeah.
But it's Kingdom Hearts, British Eagle. That doesn't happen.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You're talking to a duck and a dog. Like
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, none of that matters either. Okay. Here's one for you.
Uh-oh.
Have you got your big pants on? Oh, sorry, you're not wearing any.
Pants on still.
No,
nope,
no.
Still got none.
They don't wear pants in Ohio. I forgot.
No, dude, not at all.
Favorite member of the organization?
Oh, it's Axel. Oh, that's easy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that was easy.
Axel, or as some people know him from before he was in the organization, Lee. I will say, though, if you want me to answer why, I can answer that.
Please do.
So there's a lot of reasons for Axel. I'll give you the main ones. I love red. Red is my favorite color.
Okay.
I think if Marluxia from the organization had red hair, I think Marluxia would be my favorite. Red just has always been like a drawing point for me. But I love the red hair. I love the attitude of like, got it memorized. Like, I don't know. He's just got this cool like persona. But I also love that he doesn't just have a giant sword like every Final Fantasy main character.
Right.
He has chakrams that he can throw that light on fire. He like, his backstory is about. It's all about his friends and like, he's trying to protect the friend he cares about, and like he knows secrets that he shouldn't know, but like. I don't know, he's trying his best to protect his friend. The way I think about it is, I love Axel because he's trying his best to do all the right things, and he doesn't get it right, but he still has the right, like, he still means well.
Of course, yeah.
And I appreciate that. Like, I don't know, there's something about him I love with that.
And it definitely obviously shows in Kingdom Hearts 3, so...
yeah.
Well, that's all I'll say on that. Just in case you haven't.
Yeah. Oh
in case you haven't played. Yeah. Oh, who's my favourite member of the organisation?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's yours?
Oh, do you know what? Even though she's a bit of a bitch.
Oh, I know who you're going with.
Can
I guess it?
Go on.
Is it Larxene?
It is Larxene.
I love her though. She's great. She's the lightning.
Right.
The lightning powers. Yeah. She's a real bitch.
Yeah.
She's horrible.
She's got that attitude, but I'll tell you what, she's great. She's fun.
She could take me to the bar any day. I just, shoot.
Oh shoot.
She's shockingly fun.
Oh. Oh. Oh, I just died inside.
Yeah, I know, I did too. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, guys.
What was I? Oh, now you've made me forget what I was gonna say.
We were talking about Larxene, your favorite organization member.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. What's do you have a favorite? Because I haven't done these yet, which is what I plan to do when eventually do these playthroughs. But your favorite, I don't know. I guess your favorite data battle fight. Because there's some tough ones out there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Are you talking about the Remind DLC stuff?
Well, let's just say
like after Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like it's the data fights. I think I know. Or are you talking about Kingdom Hearts 2? Because Kingdom Hearts 2 has the data fights, but then Kingdom Hearts 3 has like the DLC Remind, where you basically fight all the bosses like you do in Kingdom Hearts 2, and you go through like that little portal door for each one of the different members. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So
okay. I mean, honestly, they're all tough. Like, there's not one that's like easy in my opinion. If we're talking about, yeah, in terms of like the data battles, like they're all tough. Because I know you're probably talking about Kingdom Hearts 2, right? The data battles there.
Yeah, because I mean I know they're in Remind as well. I assume they're just the exact same thing.
They basically are. Yeah. I don't think there's a well. I'm trying to think, is there? Well, I guess there would have to be a difference because Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't have young Xehanort.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's not in it, so I would say. I mean, if you're talking about either one of them, I don't know. It's really hard. Like, I would say, if we're talking about the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, I would say young Xehanort's probably the one that I struggled with. He's got like 4 phases that just are absolutely nuts. If we're talking about Kingdom Hearts 2 data battles, I need to look up like those fights again. So well, I need to look up the name. That's who it is. Okay, so I always struggle with. I'm pretty sure this is it, but I always mess up his name. Is it Zaldin? Yeah, Zaldin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't stand him. He's the guy that you fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 on Bell's Castle. You fight him on the bridge, and he just throws those like long lances or like the staffs or whatever you call him at him.
He's the black-haired guy, right?
So hard. Yeah, he's got long black hair. Yep.
Yeah.
And he floats and like throws around these like staffs or these lances or whatever they are. He was always a nightmare to me. I can't stand fighting him. His replica battle is kind of annoying. I'd probably say him, honestly. Although Marluxia is also a pain. Sykes is a pain. There's not really an easy one, unfortunately. Yeah. Is there one that you have that sticks out that's good or bad, I guess?
Well, again, I can't really comment because I've never done them, so...
Oh, that's right. Gotcha. They're all tough, to put it... I don't know, to put it nicely, I guess. They're all very difficult. At some point, I would like to try... I don't know if I'll do this, but I'd like to try and incorporate that in my Kingdom Hearts 2 Let's Play, is when I finish Kingdom Hearts 2, do the data battles and make each battle an individual episode.
That would make sense, yeah. I think... Yeah, because if you think...
Though.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I doubt you'd be able to get those fights done in... Well, I think they would have to be their own individual episodes.
Yeah,
because they're going to take multiple times, turns to... try, I would have thought.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough. I mean, like Marluxia's difficult, Sykes is difficult, Larxene is tough. I mean, you know, she's annoying. Nothing is tougher than fighting Roxas though. When you fight him at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, I have nightmares about that battle.
What about just your overall favorite Kingdom Hearts boss fight? Can be any. I know that's, you know, there's a lot of games.
Ooh.
But what you going for?
Favorite Kingdom Hearts boss fight in any game.
Any Kingdom Hearts.
So if I'm going through all the games, which one's my favorite? I would probably say that my favorite. I actually really like the, I really like fighting, and this is like an early battle. I don't know if I could put it as my favorite, though. I was going to say the Rock Titan in Kingdom Hearts 3. I really enjoy that, like, because you have to run up a wall, you have to dodge the boulders, then you have to use the train attack to hit it. It's not my favorite of all time, now that I think about it. It's just a really good one. What is my favorite? I mean, I guess like I do really enjoy the Leon fight at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1 because he's a really hard fight because you have no spells, you have no abilities. I think maybe at that point you have dodge roll, but that's it. And like Leon, I fought him on critical mode. Or,
Oh, okay.
wait, no. Yeah, critical mode or proud mode, whatever the hardest is in Kingdom Hearts 1. And I spent hours on stream trying to beat him, and I finally did, but like he's very hard because you have like, oh, I put it on the no experience mode as well, so I was stuck at level 1. Yeah, I beat him on level 1. It was insane. I don't know. That's a really tough question. I don't know if I can answer like what's my favorite. There's a lot of really good ones, like Birth by Sleep. There's one where like you're in Cinderella's castle and there's like this jester looking thing, and he hits you with musical instruments, and he like the notes hit you and like the musical instruments hit you. That's a fun one. I guess if I had to pick one that was probably the most memorable, it probably goes back to Deep Jungle, and it probably goes back to I can't remember his name again. What
Clayton.
was his name? Clayton. Thank you. Oh, that's right, Clayton. Clayton and the chameleon, mainly because as a kid, when I died so much to it, I actually had the cutscene memorized because
I like what you did there.
Yep, like every time, yeah, yeah. Like as a kid, every time I'd go in and I'd go to the scene, and I would time it so that the moment Tarzan came in and goes, Clayton, like I would say it to myself out loud.
Right.
And, like I could read the whole script without looking at the TV. So I just, that's probably the most memorable. And it was fun because as a kid, when I finally beat him, I can't remember. Do you get Cure after beating Clayton?
You do. You get it in that world,
good.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you get it after beating Clayton. So, like, beating him, I was like, come on, I gotta get something good. And you finally get the first healing spell, and you're like, oh, I'm on. Like, now it's on, because now I don't have to rely on potions. Like, I can actually heal with spells, which is, in my opinion, better. So, yeah, I would probably have to say Clayton and the Chameleon. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'm surprised you didn't say Dance Water Dance, but...
Oh, that one, yeah, that's a good one. I do like that one. It's entertaining. There's so many. The thing is, there's so many good fights in Kingdom Hearts. Like the one that sticks out to me as well is the final Marluxia fight in Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah.
But what's funny about that is, for those of you that haven't played Chain of Memories, you won't want to listen to this because this is definitely spoilers. There is a command that if you merge 3 cards together, you can make. I think it's Sonic Blade. I think it's like, what is it? It's like Blizzard or it's like Stopga or some. I can't remember what it is. I'll look it up. But basically, there's a combo to get what's called Lethal Frame. And Lethal Frame, basically, it stops any opponent. And you can do this on bosses, too. And when you stop them, Sora goes into this like frenzy of like slashing and just non-stop slashing. And you don't see the health go down right away because they're frozen in time, the enemy is. And when the slashing is all done after like 10 or 15 hits, the enemy stays frozen for a second, unfreezes, and it just goes, and it like just takes all these hits, and it does so much damage. And the broken part about it is you can basically beat any boss with that combo because Lethal Frame can't, I think, it's not that it can't be broken, but as long as you time it right, you basically can kill any boss with like 4 combos of it or 5 combos of it. It's kind of broken.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I always think of the Marluxia fight because I always use Lethal Frame, and I wreck Marluxia. I've never had a problem with it.
Because what's interesting is when the the final mix came out, there was some added super bosses, wasn't if that was correct? Because they weren't in the original PS2 version. So, like for instance, the
yes,
boss in the Peter Pan world, the
yes,
super Phantom, yeah.
Yep.
And then there was another one in Agrabah, I believe.
Yeah, so the fun thing about Agrabah, I don't know if you know this or not, you may know it. The super boss that was added in that, the name of that boss is actually a name that was decided based on a winner of a Kingdom Hearts, they won a prize at like some event or something, and the prize was that you got to be named after a super boss. I'll actually look it up.
That's interesting.
Agrabah. I guess I'll call it Super Boss. Secret Boss, Kingdom Hearts. His name is, I'm trying to remember, Kurtzisa, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
So Yeah, so Kurt Zisa is he's in Aladdin's world, but I believe if I remember correctly, that is from a kid like winning some competition or whatever, and yeah, he got to name the boss of that world, which I think is super dope.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I think we might wrap this one up.
I don't want it to end. I could talk about this for days, dude. I really could. I love it so much.
But this is the final question I'll throw out to you. Obviously,
Sure.
I spoke to you about what you'd like to see in Kingdom Hearts 4, but let's push Kingdom Hearts 4 aside and say that there's a Kingdom Hearts 5, which probably is going to be the case.
True.
What would be, and I said this to Mage about what would be his kind of all-rounder perfect Final Fantasy. I'm going to throw it out to you. What would be your all-rounder favorite Kingdom Hearts game that would be like, yep, this is the one. You know, it's got everything in it that you would love, and that can be for anything. Combat, just anything that you think, yep, this is the perfect Kingdom Hearts game for yourself.
So, okay, so I actually have an idea for this, and it kind of just came to me now. So, my perfect Kingdom Hearts, like, so there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 5. They're going to milk this for all they can because the fan base is just obsessed, right?
Yeah.
I want an ending to Kingdom Hearts. Like, I want it to end, and I want there to be a conclusion, and I want the story to get wrapped up. And the way I would like to see it done, if I could have my perfect Kingdom Hearts game, is if there's a Kingdom Hearts 5, right?
Yeah.
I want the best worlds that are voted on by the fans, like the most popular, like we want these worlds in. Get rid of Atlantica, get rid of Monster, get rid of some of the worlds that people don't all definitively love, right?
Right.
Bring back the main worlds like Traverse Town, or like, I don't know, if people loved Monsters Inc., bring that back. Like, basically bring in, for the final game, the most favorite worlds that people love. And I want every character from all the games, good and evil, to just go into an all-out fight. I want to see, the way I envision it is like, the end of Kingdom Hearts 5 is just the war to end wars. And it's just Sora's leading the battlefront, and he's charging in with Riku and Kairi by his side, and behind him is everyone from Leon to, you know, Cloud to, like, all of the World Ends With You characters. Like, there's, like, all these other characters, everyone he's ever met. And then on the flip side, it's all the Xehanorts, Organization 13, different forms of bosses you fought, Kingdom Hearts 1. But I think there has to be an end, and I think this is going to sound kind of sad. I would say end it, and Sora dies, probably. Like, I know that sounds awful, and I'm not saying I definitely want him to die, but I think you need something in every movie, game, and show, or whatever it is, where sometimes the main character dies. Like, it's not always that perfect, you know, happy ever after, and I think that him dying would be such a shock to the system, to all the fans. But I think a major battle, kind of like Tony Stark saving everyone in Avengers, right? Like, he snaps his fingers, he saves everyone. Like, that was dramatic and sad, and we miss him in the Marvel franchise. But, like, Sora, I think that would be dramatic. You have an all-out war, the good guys win, you have some casualties, maybe you lose some of the Final Fantasy characters,
right,
or the Disney characters, but it comes to an end, and, like, you know, the ending could be Kairi sitting on the tree with the Palpu fruit, and she looks up in the sky, and, like, there's, like, a star coming across, and it's Sora or something like that. Like, something to just close it out and, like, be done with it and kind of close this story. Because it's been great, but one final massive battle with everyone from every game and close it out and, like, finish it. Because I think you're gonna eventually get to a point where and it's probably already happened now, where you're wearing people out.
Right.
Like, Kingdom Hearts has got too many games, and I think they have to stop at some point. It's just not going to be fun anymore.
No,
like,
of course
people like
not.
myself are going to be like, all right, well, how do I explain any of this story to anybody that tries to get into this? Like,
I mean, it's hard enough
it's already
now.
in trouble now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, let's cut it off at some point. All good things have to come to an end, like this conversation we've had, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'll say never say never. But honestly, Mr. Eagle, it has been a very, very big pleasure. About goddamn time we did something together. Again, like I said to Mage, it's not a Let's Play. I know Let's Plays are very hard to coordinate, especially when your friends are doing other projects themselves. You know, we're all busy at the moment, so you know, maybe in the future. But something like this is a lot easy to set up and do. So,
Sure.
Mr. Eagle,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Where can people find you other than YouTube?
Yeah, so so outside of YouTube, I stream 3 times a week over on Twitch. I'm live Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Mondays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays on Twitch, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typically playing the same stuff like I normally do, Pokemon, JRPGs, some random one-off games sometimes, but really just a mixture of whatever, really.
Yeah, and what are you currently playing on YouTube right now?
So on YouTube, I have 2 series going on. I've got my blind Let's Play of Dragon Quest VIII Journey of the Cursed King 3DS version.
Ooh.
And then I have a Pokemon, what we're calling a Pokemon Sparkle Lock, Fire Red and Leaf Green versus with Soulcrest.
Okay.
Where basically all the Pokemon in the game are already shiny. Every trainer, every encounter, everything. It's all shiny. Yep.
Wow.
So we just do a regular versus where we race each other through the game to see who can beat the champion first. And
With
as we go through that adventure, we catch and battle and encounter shinies. And you don't have to hope that they become shiny. It's just cheat coded into the game and everything's shiny. So you get to see all these really cool different Pokemans.
That is quite cool.
Really
that sounds really cool.
I've enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
Are you still recording that at the moment?
Yep. We just actually recorded yesterday, and we did a couple episodes, and it comes out 4 times a week, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and Fridays. We just rotate back and forth on each other's channel, and Dragon Quest VIII is probably going to last me the rest of the year, if not into next year, because Dragon Quest games are long.
Massive, yeah.
So, yep.
You're going to be well into the 100 episodes, just like 11.
Oh yeah, but it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah,
so
it's great. And
for the ride.
And Dragon Quest you're doing every other day, is that right?
Yeah, I've been starting to do that with a lot of my solo Let's Plays now, especially because I have the ability to record and upload a lot easier. Plus, these JRPG Let's Plays, there's really not much editing to them.
No.
I'm not doing, like, zoom in on stuff or, like, extra commentary or, animations and stuff. It's just record and upload, and that's about it. So it's easier for me to get the content out.
Yes.
So I'm doing every other day, and it's been great. I'm really liking it so far.
Nice. Well, guys, before we wrap up again, if you're following me as well, which I hope you are, I'm currently doing, we're still going through Horizon Zero Dawn. That one's kind of slowed down just a tad. I will be getting back to that very soon. We are still doing Final Fantasy VII, the original, Pokemon Yellow, which I'm having a lot of fun with, and also Spyro the Dragon, which I've technically finished, but it's still being uploaded. So yeah, if any of those tickle your pickle, please do check them out. And again, please go and check out the British Eagle. Again, I will be linking his Kingdom Hearts at the end of this video. Make sure to go check it out if you've never experienced Kingdom Hearts before, or you're just curious. That would be fantastic. Again, you're on Twitter as well, right, Eagle?
Yep, I'm on Twitter, yeah. So Discord as well. If you guys ever want to reach out and say hi, I'm happy to chat. Don't be shy. I'm happy to talk to everyone. I talk way too much. And also, just want to throw this out there again. Thank you so much, Jay. This was so much fun. I had a blast, and hopefully this was as good as expected, if not better. So hopefully you guys enjoyed.
Yes, and also you should thank the British Eagle for the thumbnail that goes up for this video, because he's kindly said that he would do one for me, because I quite enjoy his thumbnails. So
I appreciate that, bud. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, if keep up to date with all of us. We're all a big tight community here. We all help each other out. We praise each other as much as we can. Don't forget to, again, please do check out the British Eagle. But I guess, Eagle, until then, this is goodbye. Until we do something next time. And for you guys watching, make sure to take care of yourselves. Be safe, be healthy, all of that good stuff. And as always, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
See you soon.